Hi everybody, Mickey here, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. I hope you're all good. Sun is shining upon the righteous, I see. Wonderful, just peeking through the woods, but it's going to make it a bit of a nightmare today. Anyhow, bushcraft, getting started, the basics. Let's get on with it. So, what do you need for bushcraft? Well, you can start off quite affordably. Start off with some basic kit. So, basic tools that you're going to need are folding saw, or a bow saw, or some sort of saw, some way of chopping wood. You can go with a budget item. You can spend a fortune. Start with a budget item, see how it works out for you. Knives. Most importantly, something that fits your hand. But a good sharp knife, preferably a Scandi grind if you're just starting out. That will assist you in sharpening. And again, a Scandi grind is, yes, probably one of the most efficient grinds for bushcraft or basic bushcraft knives. Other than that, axes, hammers, everything else. Okay, hand tools basically. Bushcraft is the art of taking stuff from the wild and making what you need to get by. Okay, it's about adapting and making tools. So today all I've brought out into the woods with me is a small pack. Okay, I have first aid kit on my belt as always, so I've got that there where I need it. Oh, let's get a brew on. So using a little mauler with a bushcraft knife, we've made a little peg, okay, this shape, using a cross draw technique. Put a point on that. We've taken another piece of wood with a Y in it there, using a battening technique, cut through there, and then using the cross pull, we put a point to this end. Made that nice and sharp. Then we've taken another piece of wood and using our bushcraft saw, cut this end off, and lucky enough I could have done it with a straight piece of wood, but I found a piece of wood with this kink in it, and that will become evident in a minute. So we're going to make a brew using those three pieces of wood as my hangers. Okie dokie, let's get on with it. This temperature is dropping. Bitly cold. Right, so it's not my woods. I'm going to make a small fire on this tray, which is brought up here purposely for doing this sort of thing. Could use a fire pit, but I just want a small fire to make a brew and to demonstrate this system. So what I'm going to do, is chuck my wire in the ground, so it's nice and firm, nice and steady. I'm then going to take my stick with a bend in it, place that over like that. Okay, so I've got my nice stick with a bend in it. I'm going to take this stake, the back of that, I'm staking down the back of this. So that V is staked that end, that Y supports there, there's my pot hanger, there's my fire. Simple as this. So it's -4. -4, so when you're out doing your bushcrafting, you keep an eye on things like this. Bits of wind-blown pine, nice and brittle, nice and dry. These twigs are going to make the basis of our fire. Let's get a bit of fire going there. So what I'm going to do, start off with, let's break these bits of pine down. in actual fact, no, we're not going to use fat wood because a lot of people don't have access to it. So on one of my earlier videos you'll have seen me making these wax cotton pads. Okay, there's a video on there showing you how to do that. Brilliant fire extender, fire lighting aid. That combined with a simple cotton wool ball. Okay, simple cotton wool ball, no Vaseline, nothing on it, just dry. And the reason I'm doing that today is because it's a bitly cold out here and I want this fire going. Tear the pad, okay, to expose some of the fibres. Okay, and what we will do, using our ferrocerium rod, we're going to ignite the cotton wool ball. As easy as that. Transfer that to where we want the fire. Take the cotton wax pad, place that on it. You don't need to do it that way. The reason I have is purely and simply it is bitterly cold. And I know that today I'm going to have a little bit of difficulty getting a fire going. I'm just going to support that so there's a bit of air underneath it. These nice dry bits of timber I found, I'm going to place over my cotton pad. Try not to get any leaves on them. Build a small stick fire. Now, you don't really, the simple rule of thumb is don't extend the height of your fire until the flames have come out through the top. However, in this sort of environment, I'm trying to capture what heat I can in there, and you can see from the amount of smoke there's a bit of moisture, which is not my friend today. Right, we're going to build that up with a bit of this ash. No oxygen in there. So to assist the fire, bear in mind what it's like today, plenty of pine. Pine's full of resin, full of saps, burns readily, creates a lot of heat, burns very fast. You can even take pine needles and green pine, although it will smoke, and introduce it to your fire. Once the heat gets under it, it will burn quite rapidly. Fire like this generates a lot of very fast heat. You can then use that as the heart and core to start drying out thicker and larger timbers, materials, making a brew, whatever you need to do. And this does throw out a lot of heat. In fact, that's the coffee coming on to boil now. That'll do, mate. Let's get a brew. Put down somewhere sensible. It's not going to fall over. Sit my bum down. So hopefully you can see me. So, there we have it. Bushcraft, okay? It's not a mystery. It's not some great mythical, magical thing that you earn over years and years and years until you get invited to the Bushcraft Guild and get your Bushcraft Gold Star. It is in actual fact the celebration and learning skills that our ancestors saw as everyday methodology, go-to techniques, systems. It's how they survived day by day. Know how to make a fire, know how to improvise a pot hanger, know how to handle your tools, okay, know how to have shelter, move on to purifying water, however far you want to go, or you can go to just simple carving techniques, carving methods, okay. Now this is just the most basic and simple of systems, okay. Could be improvised almost anywhere, anyway. Use your imagination. You could improve on it, make it better, okay. But we'll start with this one as one of the most basic systems, and we will go back and look at it again. So again, all I have here is a stake over this shaft, driven into the ground, runs up this way, through the Y there, and because of the shape of the stick, it makes a perfect pot hanger. So, as simple as that, the most basic of all pot hangers. A simple system. Should I have a old frost there, eh? So, again, I'm having a bit of difficulty. The plastic on the mount from the GoPro snapped due to the cold, and the GoPro kept locking up. So, don't know if it's time for another GoPro or it's just the weather conditions. Don't know. I have to look into it. So again, what I'm going to do, because the mount's broken, I'm going to pop you up there. And let's sit my bum down there. Now, I've had to take the media mic off as well. So, anyhow, cheers, bitly cold. The coffee's nice and warm, that'll do me. Benny, that's your fault. That's a caramel coffee today. Caramel. Sweet and sugary. Okay, so just in case the stuff that I tried to get earlier on, for whatever reason, hasn't come out. Brief synopsis. Bushcraft knife, okay? No matter what bushcraft knife you have, no matter whether it's expensive or cheap, plain. We'll wait for him to go away. So, your bushcraft knife. We were talking about some basic things, so we were talking about the triangle of death. Okay, the triangle of death, and I'm going to put the sheath on for this. Triangle of death is this area here. Okay, The inner thigh, you've got the femoral artery. If you're cutting something here and you slice down like that, right, or you're going to hit the femoral artery. And if you hit the femoral artery, unfortunately, guys, you've not got long. Okay, so that is the triangle of death. Don't cut here. If you've got to do it, come this way. Come this in front of yourself. Nothing in front of the blade. Okay, simple rule. If you've got nothing in front of the blade, nothing to hurt. Circle of death, or the blood circle. It's okay if you think of your knife in your arm and you do a 360. That's everything that you have the potentiality of hitting. Hate these terms. Triangle of death, the blood circle. It's common sense, guys. If I'm working with my knife and I'm running a course, or I'm teaching, or I'm just out with a mate and I'm working with the knife here and I see somebody coming, if I don't know what they're going to do that. You all right, mate? How's it going? I'll have a sip of my coffee. Yeah, I'll tell you what, don't stick your face right there, because I'm working with the knife. Just step back, give me a little bit of space, will you? And then back to working. Okay? In theory, you should be working in a position where it's not going to be a risk. If I'm working down here, where's the knife going to go? It's not going to hit anybody, it's not going to hit me. Okay? So that's not a problem. If somebody wants to get a close-up view of something I'm doing with a knife, invariably I will start working down over a surface, something like a log or a table or the bench, so that they can see what I'm doing. And if I slip, okay, it's caught by the bench. The action is going in a direction that's safe. It's exactly the same rule as you have with a firearm, and any of you ex-military guys will remember. You don't point a loaded weapon in the direction of anything you are not prepared to destroy. It's the same thing with your knife. Don't have your knife working in the direction of anything you're not prepared to cut. That includes you and other people. So you won't hear much about the blood circle or the triangle of death beyond that from me, because I think most people have the common sense. Okay, and if you don't, or it's the first time you've heard of it, it's the first time you thought of it, all you've got to do is have a think about yourself. I'm out here in the woods today on my own. If I have an accident with this, I've got to self-recover. If I sliced my femoral artery now, I can pretty much guarantee you I'm not going to make it out of here alive. Okay, so don't put yourself at risk. My first aid kit is on my hip with me at all times, and I'm in another plane. Pain in the arse, especially when you try to film. Right, so here's one might do a bit on in the future. So carrying systems. In the military, you had a belt order. Okay, that belt order carried all your kit that you needed with you as essentials: spare mags, water, food. Okay, you carried it on a belt order, which was carried around your hips. In the UK, on a yoke, went over your shoulders, supported it well. It meant you had a system where you could carry those essentials with you all the time. It meant you could bin your day pack, it meant you could bin your Bergen, and you pretty much had a fighting order on. You had what you needed with you as essentials: food, water, ammo. Now in a civilian world now, but I was thinking about this the other day, about belt order. Now, I'm gonna have a try and a bit more think about what would I need as a belt order, and civilianize it, because I know from my own experience, carrying a belt order is a lot easier than carrying a Bergen or a day sack or a rucksack. The bonus of a belt order is it's always with you. So priorities in a belt order, if you're putting one together yourself, for me, and I'm just talking about me, is probably going to be first aid, water, fire, food, Shelter and sleep system would probably go into my pack, although I would probably have some sort of emergency backup within that belt order. So, another plane. I'm learning to avoid these planes. It's a problem with having so many airports around here. And I don't know why, but our airports around here, most of them seem to have all the slow planes. Right, so he's gone. So yeah, so that's how I'm going to think about it. I'm going to try and develop a belt order system of my own, just to give you an idea of what I do and how I carry it. And I'm going to have a look around for pouches that are not military. So it'd be like a civilian belt order. Okay. You can go with something as simple as a bum bag. Yeah, great idea that, Benny. That's what gave me the idea. But yeah, back to belt orders. So your bulk, your larger items, your heavier items will go into your berg and your rucksack. They are the items that you could possibly manage without in an emergency. However, you want to carry them for comfort and delight. The priority items, the things that will keep you alive, go into your belt order and stay worn on your person. As I've said on other videos before, one of the things I come across quite regularly is people with their first aid kits in their pack. And then they come out to the woods here, they dump their pack where they're going to make their camp, and they wander off with an axe, a saw, a knife. Where's the first aid kit? And they can be 200 or 300 metres away. Doesn't help if you have an accident. Okay, so again, have that first aid kit, have that IFAK on your person, not on your Bergen. Or, like I do, have a small IFAK on my person and a main first aid kit with all the extras and all the Gucci's, all the owies, all the meds carried in my Bergen. Okay, so if I'm out there, the life preservers are with me. When I get back to camp, then I can make myself comfortable. That makes sense. Yeah, see how this comes out in the edit. Well, other than that, sun's dropping, temperature is starting to come down, I can feel it already. Fire's nearly out. We'll put that out, tidy up, leave no trace, head for home, edit this. It'll probably be a short video today. We'll see if I've got enough information out of it to make a reasonable showing. If I haven't, I apologise now. So guys, a very, very basic bushcrafting video today, just a beginner's video, just thoughts, ideas, methodology, you know, some things to think about if you're starting, and if you're already doing this, if you're already, you know, an experienced bushcrafter, share what you know.